Evening, everyone. I'm Carrie. This is Student Loan Chit-Chat. All right, if you are brand new here, we welcome you. We pretty much sit around and we muse over Dave Ramsey phone calls. I try to focus on a call that's very current, and then I usually step into past history calls as well, because I believe we can learn from everything, past and present, when it comes to debt. If you've been here before, you know the drill. Grab your tea, grab your soft drink, whatever you wish, kick back, relax. It is bedtime story time. Yay. All right, so let's go ahead, take the screen straight on down. We're going to look at a Dave Ramsey call that came in just yesterday, people. Just yesterday. All right. It says, you're a case study on why we tell people not to do this. Now, before we start really quickly, I got some homemade banana cranberry walnut bread cooling on the stove. So if this runs longer than 25 minutes, because you know on this channel, anything goes for length, okay? If it runs more than 25 minutes, I'm going to have to pause it so I can flip it out of the bundt pan. Yeah, it's just my little hobby. So if it sits more than 25 minutes, and definitely if it sits more than 30, it's going to be difficult to flip it out. So we'll just keep an eye if we have to take a pause break. I'm sure we all understand. All right, here we go. I am so glad you are here with me. In 3, 2, 1, let's hit it.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Chris is in Spokane, Washington. Hey, Chris,
Hello,
welcome
Chris.
to the Ramsey Show.
Hi guys, how are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I made the mistake of getting into a house with my ex-fiance.
Oh, and the tea has started. I believe the heat of the teapot is boiling early, people. I feel the heat coming on.
And I just don't know where to go from there.
Ex-fiance. Bought a house with the ex-fiance. People, you don't buy that house so you have got the ring on the finger. You've walked down the aisle and said, I do. Then you can go and sign on the house. Otherwise, you find yourself in this very awkward situation. Now, let's remember, this ran just a day ago, so this is a very current problem, but I'm sure it's a problem many people have had.
We were in the house for about 7 months, and then she decided to pull the plug on us, and I'm just kind of confused and don't know where to go and how to handle it.
That sucks. Yeah, that sucks.
Wow.
I'm really sorry about that, buddy. If I can give you any words of condolence, there are more fishettes in the sea. So be glad that she pulled the plug now when you're just divvying up a house versus after you've had 4 kids. All right? So something to think about.
You're a case study in why we tell people not to buy stuff with people they're not married to yet. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chris.
Yes, we are all sorry, Chris. Believe me.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you got a heartbreak and you got a pain in the butt both, huh?
And you have a house that you now have to divorce over without actually divorcing.
Yeah.
How long?
People, you know, if you have to go in on something, at least make it something simple like a car, okay? When you start talking houses, wow, that gets really sticky. I wouldn't even go in on a car, all right? But if you're going to do something kind of foolish, okay, maybe the car, at least it's a smaller amount to deal with, hopefully, versus a huge piece of property that can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
How long ago was the breakup?
About 3 months ago.
Who's living in the house?
Let's guess, both of them are probably living there.
I moved out recently, and she's staying in the house right now.
So she breaks up and you move out. Why does that not sound quite right?
Have we discussed when we are going to sell our house?
We have discussed it, and we've actually talked to a realtor about putting it on the market, but she would only walk away with about $2,000, which I was okay with, but she wasn't up for just getting back the $2,000.
Well, you know, I'm not going to try to jump to conclusions, but hey, you know, every now and then I like to jump to conclusions. Perhaps she just bought the house because perhaps she pretended she wanted to marry him because she really just wanted the house. Yeah, that's kind of crappy, ain't it? It is possible. She just wanted the house. She didn't really want the guy. She wanted the house. There are women who At least they make it down the altar, but they're really more interested in the money. They're more interested in what can the guy give me than they are actually the guy. Happens all the time. Who cares if she doesn't just want the 2,000? If there's no equity in the house or anything else, who cares? And if she wants to keep the house, wouldn't it be where she would have to like have it refinanced in her name? See, and here's the other problem. When you buy a piece of property to someone you're not married to, and of course it can happen when you're married. We understand that, but that's different. You're married getting divorced, okay? But when you're not even married, and you're trying to divide up a piece of property, it may be, I don't know, it may be harder for the courts to decide what to do. I don't know for sure because I'm not an attorney, but it could make things more difficult. But then on the other part of me goes, why would it be any different than if you were just getting a divorce? She would have to buy him out. The hard part, however, is that his credit, depending upon, what his credit standing is, his credit can ride on her. Nothing worse than having your credit be reliant on someone you're not even married to.
Sorry.
Right.
Don't care.
And that's what I told her.
Right.
Don't care what you want. You broke up. We are selling this house.
Exactly. And here's the worst case scenario. His credit tanks for a while and he learns a hard lesson. Don't buy property with somebody that's not married to you. It's hard enough when they're married getting divorced, splitting property. But in some ways, this is even worse. What does this chick think she's going to get? I get to dump this guy because she probably really just wanted the house. And now I get to keep the house on my terms. Oh, hell no.
Get it on the market. If she won't do that, you're going to have to hire an attorney and force her to.
See? There we go.
Okay, and I was kind of going that route to see if I could hire somebody to get her on board to do that.
No, I think you call her and go sit down and say, look, I really want to do this the easy way. There's an easy way and a hard way, but we have to get rid of this house. This house we are not together in the future, and we are not owning a house together in the future. We are getting rid of the house. Now, do you want to put the house on the market and let's do this nice, or are we going to have to get ugly?
And what's sad is she's the one who broke up too. And there are women who'll do it just to spite. They don't want the guy. They only want what the guy can get. I'm telling you, part of me really thinks that possibly she just wanted the house. Just that little part of me says, she really, because she doesn't seem to have a problem keeping the house or the profit if she can make a decent enough profit from the house. I don't know where she tends to get the profit though.
Okay.
I'll sit down in person with her, have a very calm conversation. Don't bring up all the past. Don't bring up all your heartache and your broken everything. It's a simple conversation about we are selling the house that we own together because we aren't together anymore, and we are doing that now. Are you on board with doing that? Because if you're not, this is going to get nasty, and I don't want to be nasty.
And you also, another reason why you don't want to buy property with someone you're married to, you don't want the legal liability of that property either. He may have moved out, but he is legally liable for the property as well. I'll be honest. When my ex said he wanted a divorce, okay, true fact, one of the things I will share directly about that. First thing I did, and the first thing I would tell any single person, I would tell anybody, okay? If you watch this channel, okay, I spent 7 years in the insurance industry, okay? I was a claims adjuster. Let's say I did everything but casualty. I did everything but medical claims. So property, insurance, business, condo. I did all of that, okay? Claims adjusting. Anytime somebody tells you, I'm done with you, okay? Or, that they want to end the relationship. Here's the first thing you do. You don't call your mama. Nope. You don't do that. Call your insurance company and you get your insurance split immediately. When my ex said he wanted a divorce, I didn't call my mother first. I called my insurance adjuster and said, get me off the policy. Here's why. If you remain on a policy with somebody, even though you are no longer together, so long as you are both on that policy, you hold legal liability towards each other. This means if somebody says to you, I want to divorce you, and whatever their emotional reaction is or whatever, and they decide they're going to, go do something stupid like get a speeding ticket, crash the car. People do all sorts of stupid stuff. Okay, on either side. The one ending it or the dumper and the dumpee, so to speak, okay? If you are on the policy with that person, you hold legal liability. Period. You don't want to hold legal liability in any sort of way. And that's the first thing I did. It's the first thing I would tell anybody to do. Split that insurance policy. As soon as my ex told me that, I think I had the policy split within 2 hours. I didn't even wait 2 days. I've been in the business. I know what it's like. And I was going to be flat darned, using the nice word, if I was going to sit on auto policy with somebody who no longer wanted to be with me. I mean, that's his right. It's his choice to no longer want to be with me. He's his individual person. That's not the focus. The focus is when someone says they don't want to be there anymore with you, you must sever all the legal liability possible immediately. And within, I kid you not, probably 2-3 hours, first thing I did was I split that auto insurance. And I called up and you don't even have to have divorce papers or anything else, because having worked in insurance for the number of years that I have done, you need to remember that auto insurance follows the person. Okay, so you are attached to a car, it follows you. So whatever car you are attached to, that's the car that you are liable for. You are liable for all injuries that vehicle does, yada, yada. That's why auto insurance follows you, which is why when you rent a car, you don't need, here's another tip of advice, stop buying the god-awfully priced, highly jacked up price auto insurance coverage that they try to sell you when you go to rent a car. Oh, but if you buy our insurance, even though you have comp, collision, and every other insurance under the sun on your car, but if you buy our insurance, you get into an accident, okay, we won't report your insurance company and it won't take a hit on your insurance. That's the way they sell you on it. Okay, but if you're a careful driver, you're not out road raging or anything else, you have a pretty small likelihood of getting into an accident. But it's just a way for them to upcharge you. So in the case of any sort of split, divorce, broken relationships, whatever, any sort of split, first thing you do, change that insurance and change it fast, because you don't want legal liability for what somebody could do to a vehicle or a house. And this is why I say with this particular house, he may have moved out, but that doesn't waive him from legal liability. That's why he needs to get his name actually off of it, and he needs to get it sold.
Right. And it's been pretty nasty already. So
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
She wanted the house. Okay. She wanted the house, and or she was hoping to get a profit off the house after it was sold. She wasn't interested in him.
And so, I would sit down and say that, like, this is the last chance. Okay. And then if she says, okay, I'll put it on the market, and then she doesn't, send her a letter, certified mail, return receipt requested. So you have proof that the letter was delivered, and saying you have 10 days to get this house on the market, or I'm going to be in touch with an attorney and we are going to escalate this discussion. It's going to get really expensive.
Here's the worst case scenario. First off, do you see all the wasted money that occurs when you buy a piece of property, whether it's a car, a house, whatever, okay, with somebody? The worst thing that's going to happen to him, and I don't know how deep his pockets are to get an attorney, but the worst thing that's going to happen is he just walks away and, I don't know if she can make the payments on her own, okay, but he simply stops making payments on the house, period. He doesn't pay another dime for it, and he may have to accept. It's going to be a huge credit hit. He may have to accept collections, foreclosure. I mean, it gets really, really bad. But he may have to accept this as a very, very tough lesson. But the one thing he needs to do is he needs to, and I agree with Dave, he needs to legally show that he's trying to get himself off of it as a backup, an alibi, so to speak, okay? If something should happen to the house, he's maybe have something to go to court with to say he's not responsible. People get weird when stuff like this happens. Here's my rule, though, about relationships. And I'll say it over and over. Don't ever be willing to do stupid stuff and go to jail for somebody. Okay, when somebody ends a relationship and you're like, well, you see these stupid people going to jail for life or for a very long time. For what? Because somebody didn't want to be with you anymore. You know what? Let them go. When it's over, it's over.
Right.
Because, dude, this is not going to go well if this drags out 5 years. You understand that, right?
Yes, and that's why I wanted to call.
Yeah.
Who's paying the mortgage?
We're splitting it.
Stop paying the mortgage. Stop. And again, he needs an attorney. Ah, man. All avoidable stuff. Doing this before getting this property before you got married. We won't even call it stupid because the poor dude is going through enough. This was just yesterday, so he's already got a broken heart, along with all this. So we're gonna be gentle for tonight's bedtime story.
Yeah.
And you don't live there.
No.
This is a problem.
I damn near think he should move back in. I do. I damn near think he should just move back in. He has legal rights to it. He has full legal rights to the place. He could go and he could change the locks even. Make her break in to get back into it.
Right. And that's why I needed to talk to somebody, because I have so many people in my life giving me different types of advice, and I listen to your guys' show quite a bit, and I figured I'd call and get some more advice.
Yeah. How old are you guys?
I'm 30 and she's 27.
Jeez. Yeah.
And you were in the house together for 7 years, or 7 months. How long were you dating before all that?
5 years.
Wow.
I'd like to know what happened. 5 years. She probably went for the gym trainer. I'm just kidding.
So that's why it's kind of confusing and kind of heartbreak, and yeah.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. I agree. I'm with you. Yeah.
Right.
Are you going to walk away with $2,000 as well, or is it?
Hey, I understand relationship heartbreak. I won't say which relationship, because I've had more than one relationship heartbreak, but one of my relationships years ago left me because they didn't think I was wealthy enough. So yeah, I get it. People think it's only men. People think it's only women that leave because someone's not wealthy enough. We get, the woman dumped the man because he wasn't wealthy enough. Well, guess what? It happens in the reverse too. That was years ago. But it does happen.
Is it not an even split?
Yeah, it'd be about 2,000 some change each, which I'm okay with doing that, but she didn't seem to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't have to be okay with it.
If she really, really wants a breakup, but when people genuinely want a breakup, they usually just whatever it takes. It's like, fine, go take it. Sometimes to their detriment, even they give up stuff too quickly.
I mean, this is a stupid tax that we
so
all have to pay.
What is her suggestion?
Well, we did want to list it, and then she said no because she would only be walking away with 2. So she wants to keep it and then try to put it on the market for after 2 years, because then we wouldn't have to pay income tax.
Oh, hell no. Oh, no. Nope. Sell that sucker. It doesn't matter. No. I'll tell you what she wants. I'm telling you. She wants to stay there for a couple years, not because of income tax. She wants to stay there because she's hoping she'd get a free ride for a few years. See, she gets to dump you because you're not really the guy she wanted. She wanted the property. Now she's got the property and she's trying to dictate to, what's this guy's name? Chris. Now she's trying to dictate to Chris what to do. Chris, you need to get a backbone, young man. I don't care if you have to go to, what's that store? It's Auto Express. What is it? It's that auto store, and they, yeah, go and buy yourself a pair of neutered nuts and hang them on the back of your car. Remind yourself to, you need to get some balls sometimes. All right. That's what you need to do. You need to stand up to her. Don't just roll over to this gal. She's hoping you will roll over. No. Mm-mm. This is when you have to show your alpha. Okay. Yeah. Stand up to her.
As you pay equity into a house that
There's
you don't
not
even
any
live in.
income tax if you make $4,000.
Right.
The income tax is $400.
Yeah, that's what's going through her head. So
See, that's dumb.
Show her how math works, and maybe that will help speed this up.
Oh, God.
She's going to try to dictate this. She's going to try to manipulate this to get exactly what she wants. And I know Chris's heart is broken, so maybe, he sounds a little, he sounds kind of broken. I've been there, Chris. I've been there, okay? But that aside, I hope he has enough alpha in him that he will stand up to this gal. She's going to try to run this her way.
But we're not going to ride this out for 2 years as you continue to pay a mortgage and build equity.
Yeah,
Maybe.
We know we did not buy a rental property together for us to run together that you live in. No, you broke the marriage up, and so we're selling the house.
He really needs legal documentation that he's wanting to end the marriage. And again, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know if it would help him in a court case or settlement or anything like that. Okay, I'm kind of saying it probably won't help any, but he needs to get this sold. And if I were him, if it comes right down to it, he just doesn't pay his half and let it go straight into foreclosure. This may be a very, very tough financial lesson. But on the other hand, if it starts to drop and it starts to go into foreclosure, it may force the ex to go, you know what, she doesn't want to have all that hit, and she may just simply acquiesce and say, okay. In other words, Chris needs to not help support her lifestyle. He may need to have her standing on the edge of the cliff and looking over down at the water and the rocks. And only when she's standing on the edge of that cliff and he's going, look, I'm not paying another dime. I'll let this thing tank itself right into the ground. Then she might say, okay, and sell it.
Ready, set, go. If we lose $2,000 a piece, we're selling the house.
Right.
So this is not an investment that we maximize.
Yeah, that was another thing I told her. It's going to cost us to sell this house, too.
Yeah.
You're both going to have to pay a stupid tax here, and it sucks.
And the stupid tax will probably be in the thousands.
Yeah, wow.
All right, folks, my banana bread is ready to be taken and flipped over. I think we have the gist of this. All right, so I'm going to flip my banana bread over, and guess what? Let's see, what time is that? Hold on. Ooh, it's 8:15. Okay, guys, you know what? I was going to do a second one, but I think we're just going to go ahead and call it done for tonight because I do have to, hold on, let me leave this. Can't tell me to do because I do have to get up early for the gym tomorrow. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to go ahead and leave it at this tonight. I'm Carrie. This is Student Loan Chit-Chat. I'd like to thank you for joining me. And you know the routine, so let's hit it. If you are watching this when you are at work tomorrow, I want you to have a very pleasant and safe day. If you are watching this tomorrow while you are exercising, don't forget to check that heart rate. And if you so happen to be watching this while you're having tea with your toast, don't forget to save me a slice. I'm Carrie. This is Student Loan Chit Chat. I will see you most likely tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye-bye.